Here on this channel, I talk a lot about The Last of Us, and The Last of Us isn't even like what I would consider my favorite gaming IP. Like, don't get it twisted, it's still in my top two easily, but there is one that's kind of a step above The Last of Us in my opinion, and that of course is The Witcher. Now, if you guys know anything about me, I'm a person who kind of likes their fantasy to be a little grounded while, still being fantasy. That's why, like, for example, the later seasons of Game of Thrones, I really lost interest in because I think they focus way too much on the fantasy aspect. They also dumb down the story a lot. But to me, the reason why the Witcher franchise it fits in that Game of Thrones hole so perfectly, but at the same time, it doesn't. At the same time, it's weird. But like, as you guys obviously know, I did a entire playthrough of The Witcher 3, and I actually originally intended to do all the DLC and all that stuff, but there's so much content, and at the end of the day, I felt like live streaming just wasn't working for me. I think at the end of the day, it's better for me to put my efforts forward on making a video versus live streaming, because while you're live streaming, you have to be entertaining, unless you're DSP. So I just I kind of was pulling a DSP where I was dependent on the game to carry me. But the reason why I'm saying that is because I was playing The Witcher 3 when I was doing that. Because while I was loving the game, it's one of those situations where it's like watching someone play a game is not as fun as playing the game yourself. And I think that really is the case with The Witcher, Witcher 3, because it's one of those games that I would want everyone I know to at least try to play. For just get past the tutorial part, get past the Griffin, in other words, and just really see how you feel about it. Because when I originally played The Witcher 3 way back in the day, like, oh my god, fucking PlayStation 4, that long ago, I originally, after I got past the Griffin part, I was actually not very impressed. But then I was like, well, wait a minute, was there like a side quest I did that really, I didn't get a chance to do? It was the monster contract for the girl in the well. And I'm gonna tell you, man, that contract, if I did not do that contract after I did the main mission, I don't think I'd be a Witcher 3 fan. I don't think I'd like the Witcher franchise, because that was the point where I was like, wow, there's something here that's really connecting with me. And then I started going around collecting all the items so I could be better prepared, so I could do other contracts. So I was like, man, some of these contracts are really fucking cool. And then I got back to playing, technically would be considered the story. But then there was that contract where you have to help that hunter find his wife that went out into the woods. That's when I became a fan. That's when I was like, okay, this is a franchise for me, because it was not that contract, not to get into spoilers or anything, but there's a very severe choice you have to make towards, I guess you'd say, like midway with that contract. And what I really liked about it was there was no clear right or wrong answer. It was very much, how do you feel about these people? How do you feel about certain creatures? And do you think there's a better way for it to happen? Or do you think there could have been a happy ending if someone in that situation was just ignorant? That was when I got pulled in. And then once I started playing the rest of the story, I really got into it. Like, I got to the point that I actually started looking up YouTube videos about Ciri, because again, you're starting with The Witcher 3, you don't really know much about Ciri, but like, man, the more I heard about her, I was like, man, this is a character I could get behind, because she's kind of got that tomboy flair, that stupid childish behavior, kind of like Ellie has, ironically enough. But where things are different is that Ciri always has this kind of naivety about her. Like she still is like, as the game progresses, she obviously gets wiser, but she still has like this kind of optimism about her. Like, she still has a little bit of hope, and that's what I liked about her and her dynamics with Geralt, someone who was pragmatic. In fact, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the original time I played The Witcher 3, when I got to the ending, I actually got what's considered the worst ending, and that was Geralt hunting down that last crone in order to get the medallion that applies. Geralt dies in the end. Now, that's the original ending I got. And I was like, man, I want to try the other ending. So then I got what's considered the canonical ending. I was like, okay, that's better. But now let's go back and look at other choice I could have made. And let's see how that would have played out. Where Ciri becomes the leader of Novigrad. And I was like, what? And I was like, well, she's not directly made the leader of Novigrad. But it's like she's next in line for the throne after Edmure. So I was like, oh, shit. Well, wouldn't this technically be considered the better ending? Because, well, yeah, it sucks Ciri can't see Geralt now. This would be the better ending for everyone because Ciri is someone who could show compassion. You know, can understand that, hey, these people in Velen are, you know, yeah, there's bad people there, but there's good people too. That's what really kind of started pulling me in with the Witcher franchise. It's just this ability to see the kind of the grayness of the world and try to put a little bit of white into it. You know, they say the world's made of black and whites. Well, if you mix black and white together, what do you get? Great. So that was the point I really started liking this franchise, and I started reading the books. Yes, I have 4 of the books, and oh my god, it's some of the best reading I've had. Although, funny enough, technically the books are the kind of just talk about it real quick. The books are kind of considered, they are considered canon, but not in the sense that you're playing those stories out from the books. They're like, this game's canon is kind of like separated from the book's canon, but at the same time, it ties up certain plot threads, certain loose threads that happen in the books that never get resolved. And of course, by the way, who did I romance the first time? Obviously, I romanced Triss. I don't know why. I actually always thought Geralt would have been a perfect fit with Triss when I first played it. Because Triss is the one that seems like she's the one that allows Geralt to have more freedom. And, you know, kind of seems like, you know, that's someone Geralt would be attracted to. But then when I started playing, I played the game the second time, I was like, no, actually, Yennefer would be the canonical ending because Geralt needs that person who is serious, but shows her flexibility from time to time. Like, see, like, this is the crazy thing about the Witcher franchise. There were so many different endings for that game. It got me interested in the world and, like, again, understanding these characters. And it's just like, I don't think I've ever gone excited for a game like The Witcher 4 since, I'm being honest, probably Kingdom Hearts 3, which I could go into my whole Kingdom Hearts 3 story one day because, man, there was something there for that. So, but yeah, I decided to make this video because why the hell not? I had nothing else to do. Taking a break from Death Stranding 2, and you know, I don't think The Witcher 3 gets talked about enough, and like how, at least on this channel, because I think that game had left a lot of positive impact on me, and made me think, well, you know, maybe not the gameplay's the best, but the story pulled me in. That made me more, you know, willing to look past certain faults of the game. Because, listen, much as I can sit here and jerk off this game and say it's the best thing ever, it's not perfect. No game is. Even the beloved Last of Us Part 2 for me, it's not perfect. But I do like what The Witcher did for me. It made me kind of appreciate, you know, storytelling a little bit more. So that's my personal story. I mean, what do you guys think? You know, have you played The Witcher 3? Have you not? Let me know. What do you think of The Witcher 3? And you know, let's just talk about some good old monster hunting. Which, by the way, I actually didn't realize this until like fairly recently, which actually is kind of funny. Because I didn't watch any of the trailers when they first came out because, you know, I wasn't that into gaming at that point, unless I was PlayStation related. But like the trailer where Geralt says he's hunting monsters and then kills the humans, and I was like, oh, because the humans and the monsters. I don't know why it took me so long for that to slip by, but it's like, oh shit, maybe the humans are just as bad as the fucking vampires in this world. Just ranting and rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for bearing with my stupid little brain, my stupid little thoughts. And like I said, let me know what you think about the Witcher franchise. So until next time, Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube other than BS. This is That PlayStation Gamer. Sign out. Peace.